Tears for the Tear God, Salt for the Salt Throne, and Gas the Leaf Tribe.
This successful, affluent black man is Andre Demise. I don't actually care how you pronounce it. A contributing editor at Maclean's, supposedly one of Canada's premier and trusted news outlets. Last week, just prior to the Maclean's City TV National Leaders debate, he encountered a diverse group of conservatives protesting because the leader of their party had not been invited to represent them in said debate. This oppressed and marginalized minority, with the power to censor an entire political party, clearly had no choice but to bravely confront his oppressors by calling them Nazis and double-barreling an Asian lady. Classy as fuck, Maclean's. Classy as fuck. Flipped off a bunch of PPC Nazis on my way into the city building. Feels good, man. Clearly, an attempt at wit, because this idiot believes that Pepe the Frog is a Nazi meme. And I'm starting to think that I'm flying the wrong flag. I'm worried that Gotti Green is going to clash with my suit.
Hear this dirge and despair!
Having felt so good about what he'd done, after the debate, double-barreling Sarah Chung, the PPC candidate for Unionville-Markham, wasn't enough. He had to flip them off one more time on the way out with a couple suck ya mutters and hope you crash on the ride home thrown in for good measure. Wishing harm upon political candidates because he disagrees with them. Also, fuck Nazis. Now, Maxime Bernier obviously would not be happy with this sort of treatment and wish of harm on his candidates, and he says, wondering why I wasn't invited to yesterday's Maclean's debate? A contributing editor to Maclean's and debate commentator Andre Demise flipped off PPC supporters, called them Nazis, and wished them to die in car accidents. Now, Andre Demise, being a journalist, demands accuracy. He said crash. Now, fuck off, Nazi scum. Demanding accuracy. And it gets better. On Twitter, multiple PPC candidates, supporters, organizers reached out to Andre, pointing out that many of them come from diverse races and ethnic backgrounds, many of whom are immigrants, and yet they share those political beliefs. For me, most notably, this man, whose name I can't pronounce, but we'll call him Ethan, who asks Andre, perhaps you could explain how Maxime Bernier has advocated Nazism. See, I was a principal organizer for the People's PCA, and I'm Jewish, so this is of particular interest to me. As I'm sure you're aware, Jews and Nazis have a bit of a history. Beautiful understatement. So, any clarification? He asks the journalist who demands accuracy. And Andre Demise's response was to block him and literally everybody else who questioned him, while they give him the data showing that they can't possibly be what he's calling them. He blocks them and demands accuracy from anybody else. The hypocrisy is literally what we've come to expect from anyone on the left at this point. It is so ridiculous, the doublethink. And he just locks himself in his little hug box with his elitist leftist friends, and they can just talk about how good their shit smells. Let's talk about Andre, I demand accuracy, Demise's Nazi claim. It stems from the incorrect idea that PPC supporters are anti-immigrant and anti-immigration, which simply isn't true. We're anti-mass immigration for mass immigration's sake, but what we really want is a more robust vetting process for immigrants and a more efficient, streamlined immigration system that's beneficial to Canada overall, which is great because anything that's beneficial to Canada will ultimately be beneficial to those who immigrate here. But according to Andre, some 60+% of Canadians are Nazis, at least according to this Ledger poll released in June this year. 63% of Canadians want the government to limit immigration because of concerns we may have trouble integrating immigrants into our society, compared to only 37% who said we should continue to grow immigration to meet the demands of the economy. And what's really amazing about this number is that in a multi-party country like Canada, to hit 63%, you're not looking at the PPC. Wouldn't it be wonderful if 63% of people supported the PPC? Or even conservatives. To hit this number, this is people from every political stripe agreeing on this notion that we got to slow it down a touch. It seems that the PPC is the only party that has its finger on the pulse in Canada on this issue. So go ahead. Keep shrieking Nazi at the Asian lady. Keep calling the Jewish PPC organizer a Nazi. Every time you do, you create another PPC voter. So I guess I gotta say, thank you, Andre. Thank you for your support of the PPC. Keep doing what you're doing. It's exactly what got Donald Trump elected, and with any luck, you keep working for us, and Maxime Bernier might actually be Prime Minister. So, good luck, and cheers, McLeans. Go fuck yourself.
Relevant links to shit I said in the description? Maybe. I'm a retweet. Like, subscribe, or don't. It's a free country. At least it used to be.
They would silence us?